What's good though? You already know who it is though. It's the one and only Twit, and I do apologize if I sound a little bit quieter and a little bit weirder than normal. I am actually recording this from my phone, so there won't be any video for today. And I'm sure you guys are wondering why this video is so short and why you guys just see the thumbnail. And that is because our I want to say week 12 battle. I'm actually gonna pull it up right now. I believe it is our week 12 battle. We will not be having because of a forfeit. Of course, not from my side. It is from the Tulsa Talonflames position. I'm not really totally sure. Outside of just having some like internet connection issues, I guess. I'm not 100% sure exactly what was going on, but I do want to just give you guys a little breakdown of the team that I did have built because it was a very interesting team this week. And yeah, just kind of give you guys a heads up. Again, like I said, for this week and probably next week. I don't think it's going to be for the next two battles, but I do know it's for this one, obviously. And for the next one, it will probably be pretty jank and pretty awkward because I will be recording this from my phone. So I'm trying to work it out. Also, I believe this was week 11. Yeah, because this is definitely week 11. So this is our week 11 battle versus the Tulsa Talonflames. And again, I'm just going to sort of go over my team and give you guys sort of an idea. Shout out to Leo from the Greninjas that actually gave me a ton of help with this team. Again, being that I don't really have a way to make my Pokemon or have them gen, or at least gen them myself. I can't record my battles. I was going to have to like post commentate them anyway, but it is what it is. So I'm just going to run through my team real quick. This week we did in fact have a Sandslash, which I think I've only brought Sandslash maybe one other week this season, and just because it's slow for the most part. Honestly, it's just because it's slow. But this week we had Earthquake, Super Fang, Stealth Rock, and Rapid Spin on here. The Super Fang was because it was mostly just because we didn't have anything. I didn't have anything on this team in particular that would check sort of like Mr. Mime, and who was a direct threat to me because, or at least to my Charizard, and also to from the Florges, which she has been bringing like every single week, and it was obviously a clear and precise check to the Charizard. So we brought Super Fang on the Sandslash, and we brought that over the like Poison Jab, obviously, because I know that would help out at least versus the Florges. And I didn't want to go Poison Jab. I was looking over the team. I just didn't want to go Poison Jab because I don't think it would have given us a lot of initiative. I don't really think it would have helped out as much as Super Fang does. And the nice thing about Super Fang is that you know, we have, for example, she has the Thunderous. There's not anything I can hit with, hit the Thunderous with, at least from the Sandslash, but it would be a good check for the Thunderous, obviously, on the Thunderbolts or something like that. HP Ices are pretty scary still, but our set was, our spread was enough to where I'm pretty sure we could take one, maybe two HP Isis, so it wasn't the end of the world, but it was kind of like, who knows. But the nice thing about it was the Super Fang pretty much put every Pokemon on her team, well, anything that I was able to Super Fang, it put them all in range of being knocked out with a Dragon Claw from the Charizard, or even a Flare Blitz from the Charizard, obviously, because it just hits like a Mack truck. So that was the set on the Sandslash. We were Impish Nature, a little bit of defense, a little bit of HP, a little bit of attack, a little bit of defense specs, a little bit of special defense, and a little bit of speed even. Again, it was just mostly to just bulk out and be able to swap in on the Thunderous, and take some like HP Ices and stuff. It was just a safe swap with the Super Fang, which was again really good. But I guess I'll sort of explain some of her team later on because some of it was confusing. You guys are here. Next up, we have the Jolteon. We ran Zap Plate Jolteon this week. Modest Nature, not quite max speed, but a little bit in HP, a little bit out of speed for the HP, and then max special attack with Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, HP Ice, and Yawn. Now the Yawn was a good pick for the team this week because of the Bisharp. And you guys know Bisharp's definitely a big threat. Stab, Sucker Punch. It has access to stuff like Swords Dance, and it could set up and sweep teams pretty easily. So it's a pretty scary Pokemon. That was why we had Yawn though. The idea, of course, was to be able to swap in the Jolteon, outspeed anything, expecting a Sucker Punch, or especially if it has a Swords Dance up or something like that, expecting one of those two moves and being able to just yawn on that first turn, which was going to do one of two things. She was either going to stay in and go to sleep, or she was going to be forced out so that she did not get yawn or, you know, put to sleep from the yawn and then lose her Swords Dance. So it was one of those like catch-22s, like, I mean, I would still take some damage, it still might suck, I still might lose my Zap Plate from a knockoff, which is still stab from the Bisharp, but it was one of those things where, you know, if she had Swords Dance and she had locked herself in, obviously my Jolteon's outspeeding, excuse me, if she had Swords Dance not locked herself in, but knowing that I could have HP Fire, could have HP Fighting, I could, you know, pretty much any hidden power that would be super effective against it, you know, Ground Fire, what is it, Ground Fire, Fighting, what's something else? There's something else, like 2 other ones I'm forgetting, but regardless, it doesn't really matter. The yawn was for that specifically. I didn't want the Bisharp setting up. I didn't want to have that to be like a really big issue. I mean, I ran the possibility of being, you know, obviously the Zap Plate being knocked off because of the Donphan and the Bisharp, both that can run knockoff on her team. Actually, I think she has a couple more Pokemon on her team that specifically run knockoff, but it wasn't really, I don't know, I wasn't really too worried about it. The nice thing about the Jolteon was that I was still fast enough pretty much to outspeed anything that wasn't Scarfed. Like we outsped, I believe, the base speed, or excuse me, max speed Volcanion. But of course, if it's Scarf, nobody's outspeeding that thing, so it is what it is. And the only way it's going to outspeed it any other way was with a Scarf of my own. But like I said, it was just one of those things, like, I felt like the Jolteon was just a good set, again, because the Bisharp was such a big deal. We have Volt Absorb for the Thundurus, which was really nice. The thing that I was really worried about was her bringing a Donphan, which she brings pretty much to every match. Donphan's just a really good ass Pokemon, and that would kind of stop my Volt switching spam, which is really the only reason I was gonna, like, I had the Jolteon here. I mean, it was obviously to sort of clean up Revenge Kill if it needs to, but it was basically here to send out if I had to sack a Pokemon off, or a Pokemon just happens to die or whatever. That's Volt Switch spam, and it gives me a little bit of initiative in the game. But moving on, we have the Charizard X, Mega Charizard, of course, Dragon Claw, Flare Blitz, Will-O-Wisp, and Roost. And a lot of people might be confused as to why no D-Dance, Flare Blitz, D-Claw, etc., etc. That is for the simple fact that if I was running into a situation where, first of all, I could get set up on by the Bisharp. I could get set up on, I believe, by the Thundurus. I think it Nasty Plots, which is pretty scary. The Volcanion is just terrible. Honestly, the Volcanion was the biggest threat, or not even the biggest threat to my team. It was the one Pokemon that was putting me the most on tilt, and we hadn't even had the battle. It was like the fucking Volcanion. That thing knows it can learn so many different moves. It hits like a truck. Like that's a scary ass Pokemon. But for the rest of her team, I mean, outside of like the Tauros, which is obviously a big threat to my team, just being able to rock climb, and I believe what EQ just kind of destroys everything, just kind of does a lot of work to my Charizard, which is pretty terrifying, but it wasn't the end of the world. The idea with the Mega Charizard was to actually lead turn 1 Mega and Willow, the Donphan, break the sturdy Willow Donphan for the EQ, because I know I could take 2 more, roosted off, and I'd be square. For a D-Claw, go for a Flare Blitz or whatever, or I could just hard swap out into something else, such as the Skarmory, which we had on our team, which is up next. But that was the idea with the Charizard. I just wanted to have something to be able to Willow her big threats. Again, it was an issue that she does have the Volcanion, though, because she could bring the Volcanion in, you know, expecting a Flare Blitz, or even if she wasn't expecting the Will-O-Wisp, that was still pretty scary. At least not really that scary, but it's just that was a free switch for her. It would have been pretty rough to play around, but who knows? I feel like I might have been able to pull it out. Again, we had the Willow for the Bisharp, we had the Willow for the Donphan, Willow even for the Uxie, because those are usually, I mean, maybe not. I mean, it spams U-turn. Like that whole trio spams U-turn, so that would have been decent. The Bayonet, that base attack stat's ridiculous. I mean, it's RU because it's so damn slow, but my god, it has like 165 base attack when it Mega Evolves. I don't know if she's brought it or not, but you know, you can never be too safe. The Shiftry, of course, being Willowed if we needed to on a switch in. Even the Tauros, again, being one of the biggest threats against my team. Being the Tauros just with the Charizard, and since Charizard is like my ace in the hole, so it is what it is. But next up, like I said, we had the Skarmory. Oh, also in the Charizard, we went bulky. We went a bulky Charizard set. Careful with HP, literally only 12 in attack, 132 in special defense, and 112 in speed. This was enough to outspeed most of the stuff, again, if it wasn't Scarfed. and if some of the stuff wasn't like max speed, beneficial nature, and all that fun stuff there. But this took hits from pretty much anything pretty well. It's a great set for the Charizard. I really wanted to use it this week, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I also really want to use this next Pokemon, which was the Skarmory. We had Ironhead, Roost, Whirlwind, and Counter with a Rocky Helmet, and of course 30, Impish Nature, max, no, actually not max defense, 100 in defense and HP, and just kind of spread out through the set, which was good. But the Rocky Helmet Counter set was specifically for the Bisharp. Again, Bisharp is just a scary Pokemon, man. The thing sets up. I know it's not super fast. As a matter of fact, I'm going to double check its speed right now. I know it's not super terribly fast. I feel like it would be a higher tier if it was a lot faster than what it is. And Bisharp is actually, yeah, it's only base 70 speed, but that attack stat, again, 125 base attack stat, plus a stab, sucker punch, plus stab knockoff, plus like, those are some of the best moves in the game. So it was just scary. I wanted a way to deal with this thing. And honestly, the Skarmory is probably the best way, even better than the Charizard, because the Skarmory, first of all, is so defensive. If you would have spammed Sucker Punch or anything like that, Rocky Helmet, this was my knockoff mon. If I was expecting a knockoff from anything, bring it in, knock off the Rocky Helmet. That's free damage. If he goes for a Sucker Punch or he goes for another knockoff on the Skarmory or really anything versus a Skarmory, that's a free counter. If we would try to set up Swords Dance or something like that, I could Whirlwind, gets him out, that resets all his stats and everything. And then we have the Iron Head again, not necessarily outspeed and flinch, but again, it was for the Florges and for the Mr. Mime. Just for good coverage, just coverage overall, to be honest. But the counter specifically was for the Bisharp, because again, Bisharp was a huge threat, and I don't even think it's specifically to my team. It's just a huge threat in general. Even though it does take. I do some work with a Mach Punch from Conkeldurr, but still, it was one of those things like, do I want to put myself in a situation where Conkeldurr is going to get knocked off? Do I want to get in a situation where Conk is going to take, an X amount of damage that I don't need to? Because even a resisted knockoff with a Swords Dance from the Bisharp, like, again, being stabbed, it's just a lot of damage, a lot of unnecessary damage I don't necessarily need. So it is what it is. And actually not quite last, almost last, but next up we have Blissey. 248 HP, max defense, 4 special defense, pretty standard stuff, bold nature. We had Heal Bell, Soft Boil, Toxic, and Seismic Toss. Again, this was pretty specific to the Volcanion, but of course it did cover other things such as the Thundurus, such as the Florges as well. Could stall that out. The Goodra could stall that out. The UCA, surprisingly, I might have, I don't know, I can't remember if we ran the calcs right for that, if I remember it properly, but the UC for some reason was given, maybe I calced it wrong, I don't know. UC seemed to be an issue when we were team building, but it is what it is, it is what it is. And then of course we had Shiftry, which would have been kind of interesting. I really don't think she would have brought the Shiftry, there kind of would no reason for it. We probably would have got pretty blown back by the Tauros. I don't think I even ran the calcs for that, but it was pretty much for the Volcanion. I could Toxic Stall the Volcanion, Soft Boil it off the damage, because I know I could take 2 Steam Eruptions or 2 or 3 Steam Eruptions was 3-hit KO, and I think Superpower was 2-hit KO, and I was questioning whether we should run Toxic or whether we should run Thunder Wave on the Blissey, and then the same also Yawn over Thunder Wave on the Jolteon as well. And again, it was one of those situations where it's like, do I want to slow the Volcanion down, or would I rather have the Blissey sit and take the Volcanion out on its own and like force her to play into my hand versus me having to play around this Pokemon that's already putting me on tilt. We haven't even had the battle. I've never even battled anybody with Volcanion. I see the damn Pokemon. I've played against it on a showdown. It's annoying. The thing knows and learns like a ridiculous amount of moves. So it was one of those things. We ended up going with Toxic, like Toxic, Heal Bell, Soft Boiled, and just heal off all the damage if something else gets poisoned or Thunder Wave, especially with Charizard, because she does have, let me see what Pokemon she has. Of course, the Thundurus that learns T-Wave, Prankster T-Wave, the Uxie I'm pretty sure with T-Wave, I don't know if the Mr. Mime, I think Mr. Mime gets T-Wave as well, but again, a lot of Pokemon just doing annoying things to my team. I don't like it. Of course, the Fire Blast for Volcanion could burn, as well as just all the other just annoyances that she has on her team. So the Heal Bell was just a good, solid move. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Blissey. Moving on, last but not least, is the Conkeldurr here. AV, Guts, Concounter, Drain Punch, Knockoff, Ice Punch, and Mach Punch. We had 56 in HP, we had 200 in attack, and max special defense. Now, the thing about this set was, against her team, I really didn't need a lot of defense. I really didn't need a lot of, HP, just for the simple fact that I'm already so bulky. I've got special defense plus the assault vest. That was, it sucks because the Volcanion still kind of ran through the Concounter, but it was pretty decent against everything else. I mean, a stab, steam eruption, or fire blast from a damn from the Volcanion still is going to do a lot of damage. It's just like a Charizard, Dragon Claw, and something. You know what I mean? Even not super effective, it's still punching holes in teams, so it kind of sucks. But the nice thing is we were running Adamant, so I mean, Drain Punch honestly did a lot of damage in return. If I remember correctly, I can actually look it up right now. But Drain Punch, I want to say did like 60% maybe to a Volcanion. I'm looking it up right now. Give me one sec. It's just an offensive set. I don't even know exactly. I'm just gonna run a quick check. Actually, no. Drain Punch Okos. Oh no, wait. This is level 1. I was about to say, how the fuck does Drain Punch Oko? What are you talking about? No, Drain Punch doing 32 to 39%. But again, Steam Eruptions hitting me back for 38 to 45. Fire Blast 38 to 45. So again, it was one of those situations. Had I been able to whittle the thing down with the Toxic from the Chansey, would have been really good, because again, I could come in and clean up with the Concounter, which, let me double check the Mach Punch damage. I think it only does like no, actually Mach Punch does a 17 to 21% on its own. So again, it's like, do I want to slow it down for the Concounter to come in, because the Steam Eruptions and the Fire Blast is still gonna hurt, and I don't think I win that 1v1. Especially if I get crit, if I get burnt. Well, if I got burned, it would be better for me. But that's if she, didn't run a Scarf or a Spec set and lock herself into the move. So it was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of weird. It was kind of an interesting set. I actually really was kind of hyped for this battle today. I really wanted to have it, but I don't know. I was feeling pretty confident in my team. And yeah, as far as her team goes, though, I don't know if she's gonna go over it in her battle. So I might as well just talk about it right here. I'm gonna pull her team up. Give me just a sec here, because she had some really weird, when I say weird, I mean like very strange stuff, because I had my brain was just so very confused once I saw that, like, one of the first Pokemon on her team here, and okay, I've got it up right now. The first Pokemon that I see on her team is a Choice Scarf Goodra with 156 HP, max special attack, and 100 speed, and this was apparently specifically designed to take out my Charizard. And I'm like, okay. Then I'm like, okay, I can respect the Draco Meteor, Okos. Okay, cool. But you're looking at a Florges with leftovers. I actually didn't see the Florges. She did actually bring the Florges. I did not see the Florges before. When I was just looking through her team. So she did bring the Florges. I was wondering why she wouldn't have brought the Florges versus a Charizard, but never mind. She did actually bring that, so I do apologize for that. Just correcting my statement from earlier. She did bring the Florges. I, for some reason, didn't see this. Again, we didn't actually have the battle, so I didn't see the Pokemon on the screen. Then we had a sturdy Lefties Dawn fan, pretty standard. Then we have Life Orb Thunderous. Again, could have been an interesting issue. She had Hammer Arm. What does she have? I guess Hammer Arm for the... No, wait, what does she have Hammer Arm for? Maybe the Blissey? Maybe she had Hammer Arm for the Blissey. I was going to say maybe for the Skarmory, but I don't really think you'd need it for the Skarmory. But okay, Hammer Arm, Hammer Arm Thunderous. That was the thing on her team. She also had a Scarf Volcanion and a Scarf Bisharp. So 3 Scarf Pokemon there, 3 Scarfers. It would have been a very interesting battle. I mean, I'll admit, I would have been pretty caught off guard had a Goodra outsped my Charizard. Because we did not run calcs, or that many calcs in speed, or that many points in speed. We ran, to be exact, we ran 112 to be exact, which brought me to 134 speed. So I mean, she would have outsped me with a Scarf. It's just kind of a wild set. It would have been a really interesting battle to see. That's to say the least. It would have been a very interesting battle. Yeah, see, Goodra's base speed is 80, so I mean, it would have outsped me, but still, it's just. What a weird set. I mean, specifically for the Charizard. I mean, I understand, because Charizard's kind of a monster, so it is what it is. But, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get anything or as like far as pictures and screenshots edited into this video, but if I am, then cool, they've been popping up on the screen. If not, I do apologize for that, and please just forgive me because I don't know how exactly I'm gonna do this from my phone. I'm gonna do my best though. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this little like breakdown that I had. I wanted to give you guys at least something for today, instead of just like having no video go up and it be on Twitter and everything. I know YouTube sub boxes have been kind of jank lately, so it is what it is. So if you guys watched this far through the video, I appreciate you. Let me get a special comment question of the day. Summer's laying beside me. Summer, what should the comment question of the day be? Something, just one word that lets people know that they made it all the way to the end of the video. Go for it.
You can't just catch me off guard.
I can.
Like
What? Just give me a word.
A word?
Yeah. Literally any word. Make something creative. Come on. You're letting the people down.
Cowboy.
Cowboy. All right. So in the comment section, if you guys made it this far in the video, comment cowboy so we know who the real MVPs really are. But again, appreciate you guys checking out the video. I will do my best to have something up for you guys next week, whether it is the battle, whether it's post commentary, whether it is something similar to this. I don't know. Hopefully the audio sounds okay. I am recording it from my phone, so it might be kind of weird. I don't know. But again, appreciate you guys watching the video. I will see you all in the next one. Well, I probably won't. I'll see you guys when I get back. But you guys enjoy the videos on the channel. Until then, as always, it's been Twit, and I'm out.